Our journey started many years ago, as a new star was born into existence. It was an age of uncertainty, as Eorzea was under constant attack from the Garlean Empire. The Garleans fought not only to stop the summoning of primals in the region, but also to take over all of Eorzea. As the fighting went on, the Garleans brought forth Dalamud and the Curiosity, which unleashed the most powerful primal, Bahamut. Louis Soir, a master in the art of magic, attempted to reseal Bahamut. Unfortunately, this attempt had failed. The seventh Umble Calamity could not be stopped, and with the last bit of energy he had, Louis Soir sent the Warriors of Light 5 years into the future, into A Realm Reborn. In the future, the Garlean Empire was still pushing for control over Eorzea. Knowing of the power of the primals, they sought to use this power against the champions. The champions fought back with Heidelin's bestowed strength, eventually reaching a centralized Garlean outpost. Waiting for the champions was a monstrosity filled with the essence of the primals, Ultima Weapon. The champions emerged victorious against Ultima Weapon, and thus were deemed the true warriors of light. Their journey was only beginning, as now they turned their gaze Heavensward. To the north lied Ishgard, a mighty empire that has been in a stalemate in a 1,000-year conflict with dragons. After many trials, the heroes faced Nidhogg, who defied the idea of peace between man and dragon. When Nidhogg was defeated, the might of Ishgard and the dragons were now on the hero's side. Around this time, a new establishment would be born to provide a bit of respite for our weary champions that so desperately needed it. The Allure. Our rest would not last forever as we look to liberate more of our fellow nations in a storm that could only end with blood. Alamigo and Doma had suffered from years of oppression from Garlemald. The Garleans would not give up these lands easily. Xenios Ye Galvis would see to this personally. Even with his incredible might, he found that the heroes were equipped to not only gain, but surpass that strength. Doma was the first to reclaim its freedom, and thus they promptly came to our aid during the push to liberate Alamigo. Xenos attempted one final effort to slay the heroes. However, his lust for battle was his undoing as he finally was struck down. The battle, at long last, was won. With Doma and Alamigo now liberated, the other city-states were inspired by what they thought was impossible: true freedom. The champions, weary of the battle, once again returned back to the Allure Lounge. A revelation occurred. Many more people were now frequenting the lounge. It was almost as if there were multiple worlds that were once not able to partake in the weekly events but suddenly had the means to do so. Allure welcomed all its new patrons with open arms, as well as drinks and performances to match their growing reputation. Truly sights to behold, fitting for those who fought so hard to reunite so much of this world. The silence was broken as our companions one by one started falling ill. As the heroes investigated this phenomenon, they found it was somehow linked with the Crystal Tower, upon which an entity called Altas, telling us that he would bring us to a world called the First, a world filled with an overabundance of light, a light that could only be balanced with the power of darkness. In order to push back this light, we had to become what we must, the Shadowbringers. The heroes quickly learned that the situation was much more dire than just rescuing their companions. The 8th Umble Calamity was about to begin, creating chaos not only for our world, but for the First as well. The heroes learned of the Great Sundering and the Ascians' plans to rejoin the broken pieces of their once whole world regardless of its cost. The heroes quickly took action as the rejoining of the shards would claim all life as we know it. Remember us. Remember that we once lived was Emmett Selk's last words. Elidibus was finally able to remember as he faded away. We could now finally focus on saving our companions and bring them back to our world. Finally, with our foes defeated, our friends rescued, we could finally rest, and as always, Allure Lounge was there, ready to give us a place to relax and share the tales of our adventures with one another. How much have we all grown in this time? The trials we have overcome, the friends we have made along the way. All of these experiences would not have been possible if it were not for all of you. Yet our story is not over. Our respite is but fleeting as our adversaries bring about the resurrection of all the primals that we have once defeated in one last effort to bring Eorzea to its knees. The end may be drawing ever closer, but one thing is for certain. We will not have to walk this path alone. Allure Lounge will always be there for all of us. With that, we welcome you all to the Endwalker pre-release celebration hosted by Allure Lounge. And thank you for tuning in to Allure Lounge FM on 933 LB.